Hello and welcome back to the Contemplation Cafe. This is Paul, your host, as always, inviting you to come inside, pull up a chair, and have a think or two. And today I just have a simple grace encouragement or grace exhortation, as one was given to me recently. So I'm going to pay it forward, as it were. And this picks up in 2 Corinthians 12, where Paul is forced into a corner, and he has to do some foolish apostolic boasting of all his accomplishments and the things that he's been through and whatnot. So he finally comes into chapter 12 and he talks about, going up to paradise, to the third heaven, to where God is, and he sees the stuff and hears the stuff that he just can't tell anybody. So of course, or at least I can tell you that to fight the temptation of getting a swelled head, wow, I know so much more than you now. I've heard so much. Oh, if only I could tell you, but let me just, I'm so much better than you. But to help keep Paul from getting this big, giant, swelled head, there was this messenger of Satan, this thorn in the flesh that was buffeting him to keep that ego in check. And of course, it must have been pretty rough. It wasn't like, oh, I've got an ingrown toenail. It had to have been something more significant than that. But it was to a point where it really bothered him, whatever it was. It really was working on him and really getting on him. So he, asked God 3 times, hey, this is just rough. I'm just having a hard time. Can you take this thing away from me? Can you make this go away? Can you just stop this? I know you've got all the authority and the power. Yeah, I'm just begging you, please just make it go away. And here comes the divine response. My grace is sufficient for you. My grace is enough. My grace is sufficient for you, for my power or strength is made perfect or complete in infirmity or weakness. And that's what that is. And when we look at grace, our easy definition, of course, is unmerited favor. And sure, there is. Just like in other times, maybe if there was a king, and obviously, the king dwells up here and the people dwell down here. And one day the king just said, you know what? I'm just going to do something good for somebody. And he just picks somebody out of the crowd at random, pays all their bills, or gives them some gift, and buys them a car or whatever. That is the unmerited favor of grace. That person didn't earn it. That person didn't deserve it. There's nothing that person could have walked away with saying, well, of course he should have done that for me. Look at what I've done for him, or whatever. It was just like, wow, I'm so overwhelmed. I don't deserve any of this. I'm just so thankful. I'm just at a loss. That's that definition of grace. But I believe that there's another definition as well. And I like things to be rather practical. And to me, just being there with a kid in the kitchen, teaching them how to cook. Especially, in my mind, is making a cake. Because it's so easy. There's those little guys and little gals, and they're working it, and they're getting flour everywhere, and maybe they're getting some eggshells in the batter and whatnot. And it's real easy at that point, especially if you had a long and trying day, to be short with that child. You may be critical. You might even just say, you know what, we're just done, and you just clean it up and put it away. But grace says, hey, it's okay. I got your back. And there's no mess you can make that I can't clean up. And to the point where, okay, yeah, sure. Here, let me help you get some of those eggshells out of there. And hey, don't worry about that pile of flour. I can clean that right up. Look at that. Boom. You can't even tell it was there. Let's just enjoy being together. And let's just enjoy this experience. And just imagine just taking that weight and that pressure off that kid's shoulders, that really even they would know, oh, I'm probably going to get in trouble. Probably, if I get yelled at, I probably deserve it. I deserve this. And instead it's okay. I got you. Let's just enjoy being together. Let's just enjoy this time together. And that is an expression of grace. And just in our own lives, the Lord is saying the same thing whenever we have trying circumstances. When we're looking at the things going on in the world and we just feel overwhelmed and we just don't know what to make of it. And sometimes we wonder, hey, all this stuff that I've worked for like retirement, because some of us are getting that way, it could be gone tomorrow. What am I going to do? And there's a lot that can really just, overwhelm you. But in the midst of all this, the encouragement is to get back to this place of grace where God says, hey, it's okay. I've got your back. There's no mess you can make that I can't clean up. And have all this pressure and all this weight taken off your shoulders, and just to be able to relax and just enjoy the presence of the Lord in whatever you're doing, in whatever you're going through. And that is grace. And I want to encourage you with that today, that if you find yourself in that position, God is there right now telling you, hey, it's okay, I got your back. Think about it. Thanks for stopping by the Contemplation Cafe. You have a good rest of your night.